At Modell's, where you got to go to Moe's for holidays, you got to go to Moe's. By Agera Energy, the Tri-State Premier Electricity and Natural Gas Supplier. Visit AgeraFan.com for a hassle-free quote. And by New York Community Bank, online at mynycb.com. And by the John Thera Cancer Center, part of the Memorial Sloan Kettering Hackensack Meridian Health Partnership. Week 13, as we hit the month of December. Already, we're moving into the final stages of another NFL season in the league where they play for pay. 3-1 last week. Moving right along. Another very solid season. Let's see if we can add to it here in week number 13. And I told you, the last 4 weeks, favorites have been running rampant in the NFL, winning at an alarming number, putting the numbers up close to 70% against the spread in the last, I think it's either 3 or 4 weeks overall. So they have been winning and winning big. So people, you've seen some of these lines creep up against in these lopsided games. As an example, this week, the Chargers being 14-point favorites against the Browns. I would not take the Browns in this game because I'm not, late in the season, I never ask a bad team to win for me, but or do anything for me. But that's too many points. Chargers should not. They would be 14 in a place like Pittsburgh. They would be 14 in a place where the team's explosive. 14 at San Diego is too much. But not that I would grab it. It might early in the season. This part of the season, I would not. Game number 1, I go right to the Sunday night game, the Seahawks facing the Eagles. And to me, this is going to be a good test for the Eagles, but I like the Seahawks getting 6 points. I think that Seahawks need this game. If you look at it, they're going to have a hard time getting into the postseason. It's not going to be easy. They could easily, especially if Atlanta gets hot the way that South shapes up, it could be a closeout. As far as the postseason goes, the Rams aren't going away when it comes to the division. So this is a game that Seattle needs to win. The Eagles are flying high. There's no question. They're doing everything right. They've done everything right for the most part of the season. That's why they have the record that they do. But this is going to be a very tough place to win. It'll be a very tough place for a young quarterback to operate no matter what kind of season he's had. They're not the same team in the secondary. We know that. I mean, they're playing without, they're playing without half of that wonderful secondary. So it's not the same team. It's not the same secondary, but they still have players, and Wilson has had a knack of keeping games close and making big plays. I think this game goes right to the wire, and then it's decided either way, but getting 6 with the Seahawks on the road, at home, Eagles laying 6 on the road, I think it's just too many. I think it's a little rich. Give me the Seattle plus 6, game number 1. Game number 2, I'm going to go to the Saints here against the Panthers. Reason why, Panthers are on the road again this week, but I really think the Panthers came out of last week's game very, very banged up. McCaffrey's hurting. They have very little in the way of wide receivers. Tight end's hurting. Newton's hurting. You heard Doc O'Brien talk about the shoulder and the thumb. And I think that's a lot to ask. I think the Saints at home, now with their balanced attack, their ability to run the ball, what they're getting from Kamara, and their improved defense, I could see the Saints bouncing back here. Now, I'd like this game to be 3. It's not. It's 4. That bothers me a smidge that it's 4. But you know what? I'll go with it anyway. I think the Saints win this game. I think they win it by a touchdown. I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I don't expect a lot of offense out of Carolina here. To me, this is a game the Saints have to win. If they lose it, I think it's a bad sign, especially when they have the games that they have ahead. And remember, the Saints are going to play Atlanta on Thursday night, so they're going to get a turnaround right away with a critical game. I think they win this one. They're coming off a loss. They had their win streak stopped. Do they get right back on the horse and start winning again? I think they do. They're a 4-point favorite here. I don't think this will be a high-scoring game. I think they'll be 23-14, something like that. Give me New Orleans -4 for game number 2. I have 2 games that I like between the 2 of them. So I'm going to I'm going to give you both. I gave you both last week to go 4, so I'm going to go 4 again this week. Game number 1, Falcons and the Vikings. Big game for Minnesota. Bigger game for the Falcons. I see the Falcons coming together. I see some things I like. If Minnesota wins this game on the road, I will say this. If they win this game this week in Atlanta, I believe they will play in the NFC title game this year. That's what I think about this game. I think this game will be that telling for them. So I think if they win this week, they will be one of the 2 participants in the NFC title game this year. That's how much I think this game, how big it is. So I think this is an extraordinarily big game for both teams. I think it's an enormously big game for the Falcons. And if the Falcons want to make a big run at the Super Bowl this year, they are going to have to win this game. They have a lot of work to do against a schedule that has them playing 4 of their last 5 games against teams that are either 8-3 or 9-2. This week, it's a 9-2 team in the Vikings. Falcons are favored at home, which tells you something. Vikings are 9-2. They have been, other than the Eagles, the best team. The Eagles are on the road this week, and they are a 6-point favorite. The Vikings are on the road this week. They're a 3-point underdog. That tells you what they think of Atlanta. I agree with them about Atlanta. Atlanta's a 3-point favorite. They win this game with their offense. They win this game with Julio Jones. Give me the Falcons -3 for game number 3. And then game number 4, I'm either going to be really smart or really dumb on this pick. One or the other. It's going to look really good or really bad. I've liked it all week. I have a lot of reasons why I do, but this is against my better judgment, but I'm going with it anyway, and that is I'm picking the Bengals +6 against the Steelers. First of all, I think the line's out of whack. Secondly, I think the Bengals have been playing sneaky good ball. If their offensive line will block and make sure that it's not a nightmarish game where Dalton's getting hit a ton of times, especially early where he throws that bad pick and the game gets away from them, I think they can win this game. I think they have the talent to win this game. I think they'll get excited to play the Steelers here. I think on Monday night, this is a last dance for them. This is the last chance for them. They have to get this game to get back to 6-6. They buried themselves early. They're trying to get back there. They can do that this week. I think they have a lot more talent than people let on. I think the coaching hurts them sometimes. I think the quarterback hurts them a lot of the time. A good game from him could make a difference. Bottom line, I think this game's very close. I think the Steelers are not the same team away from home. Steelers got some big games they're looking ahead to. I agree with that. I think the Bengals can catch them here and make this either a very close finish or one they lose by a heartbreaking field goal. You're getting 6. Give me the Bengals +6. So 4 games this week. Give me the Seahawks +6 against the Eagles. Give me the Saints -4 against the Panthers. Give me the Falcons -3 against the Vikings. And then the Bengals +6 on Monday night against the Steelers. The picks for Week 13 on the Fan.